Hi. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this real quick. Okay. Namaste. Thank you for joining me again. I'm going to try to make another video and make it a lot shorter because I have a tendency, I've noticed, watching some of these videos, that I have a tendency of, unfortunately, going over time. I basically just wanted to give some advice about relationships from a Buddhist point of view. Specifically, if you happen to be dealing with a breakup, and more specifically, if it's not working, and no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you try, for however long you try, and the answer just continues to be no. This is something that I went through about 3 years ago. I had a very hard time dealing with it, and I was dragging it out for a long time and trying, and writing poems and sending emails and text messages and doing the very best that I possibly could, basically, pouring my heart out to this person. For off and on for probably at least probably off and on for like 2 years. The more that I practice Buddhism and the more that I actually see or understand the Buddhist teachings, the Dharma, the more easier it's actually become, and there's just a couple of things that have actually helped me quite a bit. And it's very simple, it's very straightforward. Just to kind of give you something, this isn't really anything that's deep and profound. First of all, because the Buddha did not actually say that it was better. He did not give a direct answer in terms of, is it better to be in a relationship or is it better to be single? I think that basically he did give advice to people who were in relationships. Sometimes people would ask him very specific questions like, is it possible to go to heaven? Or in other words, is it possible to go to heaven with and together? And he gave answers to that. He gave advice to people who were married and all kinds of things like that. We're not going to talk about my last video. I kind of went off and changed the subject a little bit and started talking about things like, if you practice Buddhism and you really want to become enlightened, should you be in a relationship or not? I'm not going to get into all that. Specifically talking to people who are, no matter what you've done, doesn't worked, they're not going to come back to you no matter what. And believe me, I've done all the research, tried everything that I possibly could. Sometimes it just doesn't work, no matter what you do. And there's two really simple reasons for this. First thing is, you have no control over that person changing. And you have no control over their perception of you. You have no control over that. None. If they've already made up their mind about something, no matter what, just put up a wall. And they've made up their mind, and there's absolutely nothing that's going to change their mind. There's no way to break around that wall. There's no way to climb over it. You can't dig underneath it. I'm using this very symbolically, but there's nothing you can do. Sometimes the experts will tell you all kinds of things, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter, all these, different types of things. You're cocky and funny, and, if you carry yourself a certain way and, have confidence and all that stuff. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the person, you could be this quote-unquote outstanding guy and have all those qualities that women look for. But if you were in a relationship and that person accepted you for who you are, and over time things happen, and you're still pretty much the same person that you are, but something in their life has changed. They've changed their mind for whatever reason. It's something that actually has helped me. The more that you really think about it, the more it makes sense. You can't change them, and you can't change their perception of you. You just can't. I'm not telling you to give up. I'm not telling you to not try. But all things in reality, the reality of things is that everything is impermanent. All things change. All things come to an end. Everything in reality is basically nothing more than conditions. Because of this, that happens. Because of that, that happens. But there's no such thing as something that lasts forever. Material or otherwise. Relationships, everything, etc. So this isn't really deep, profound advice. It's just something that if you meditate on it and you just begin to look into the nature of reality, you begin to see that this is true. Sometimes, no matter what you do, the person just says no. No matter what. It's one of the reasons why I do not believe in soulmates anymore. Even if people who stay together 50, 65 years or more, they're married until one of them passes away, that doesn't mean that they're soulmates. It just means that they were able to make it work out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's all. The other advice that I could really give you is to not try to hold things, as tightly as you can, kind of symbolically in your fist. It's not going to help any. Open mind, open hand, open heart, open mind. Thank you. Namaste.